Away we go.
Oh yeah, I had so much fun on this trip. At first I was really nervous about flying alone, doing the layover in Toronto, but I got to see the Great Lakes. It was really cool. And before I knew it, I had landed in Korea, made it across the world, and we were chilling. You know, it was different immediately, but we left the airport and I got on a bus with my peers, and it was nice. You started to see the city that was so much different from what you're used to. Lots of lights, different. Yeah, it's just so much different. But a city is a city at the end of the day. But Seoul was a lot prettier than a lot of the cities that I've already been able to go to. It just had its own feel and it had a lot of charm. It was very much alive, both at day and night. Even in the parks, there was a lot of hustle and bustle, not to mention out on the street. But it was nice. It's pretty everywhere you go there. Um, yeah, so the big standout to me was the day that we went and visited businesses. We started at Nexon, a video game company. That was a lot of fun. They kind of did their own PR tour, which made a lot of sense after that clicked as to why we're in a video game company. We're seeing the PR, seeing how they run things, but it was really cool to see where a lot of really famous IP is made. Video games that I had heard of, and, would like to play some more. And it was really neat to see behind the scenes of how things are made. We saw their sound studio, some technical stuff. They toured the gym and whatnot. Usual public tour stuff. And then we went to the Naver, what was it, an incubator lab. It was really cool. It was weird to see that it was mixed public space within like these corporate laboratories that had robots running around. It was just a really cool vibe. We ended up going to a business called Move-In, which is developing a real-time motion capture to like put your own AI avatar on the screen for like streamers and video gamers. Just stuff like way out of my technical knowledge. Really cool indeed. And then that same day we kind of went shopping in a mall. I'm not a big shopper, but I think my standout like after the companies was kind of seeing the architecture. We went and saw the, what was it, Latte World Tower. It's the biggest tower in Korea and the sixth largest in the world. I thought I was going to be really terrified being up towards the top, but it wasn't too bad. I like to face my fears. I think a lot of traveling is doing that. But that's one of the things about Seoul is just the architecture of everything is so beautiful, right? The whole city is kind of flanked by mountains, and then there's just this mix between like this very modern aesthetic, and then they just throw in the historic buildings, and it's just kind of a vibe that you don't really get anywhere. Like a lot of cities will kind of keep either the old architecture or switch to the new, but Seoul had it mixed throughout. It was really, really nice to see. Like it's a beautiful place, lots of nature, lots of parks, college campuses, just everything's just dotted around. And there was a lot of public art too. I think that's one of my favorite things about traveling is going and seeing the art that's just kind of dotted around for everybody. Statues. Graffiti is one of my favorites. I love kind of seeing street art and seeing what people everywhere kind of gets up to. Everybody has their own flair. And it's really cool to see the street art with its own cultural twist. Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things. I started my academic career wanting to be an actor. So when we were spending time with the School of Theater and Dance, I think those were also some really cool standout moments for me. We went to the NBC studios and saw their sound stages where they like host the K-pop and film the K-dramas and stuff. That was really cool to see, like just technical aspects that I had never seen before in like the college theater or my community theater, especially being in like the director's booth where they had everything. That was wild to see, just millions of dollars of technology that we got to go see. And then also with the School of Theater and Dance, we went and saw the Korea National Theater, I think it was. Yeah, the theater was a lot of fun for me. You know, we kind of toured all the stages, but the main auditorium was just massive and beautiful. There was this giant organ. We got to see them working on the stage. Went upstairs, downstairs, different stages. So a lot of cool stuff, and it was really nice to kind of remember who I am. Like, started as an artist, and I've been around so much. I think that's one of the really neat things about this trip, was getting in touch with myself, even spiritually. Museums we went to had an Islamic art exhibit, which was really overwhelming for me. There was a manuscript that was extremely old from the Quran that kind of hit me in the gut. The Seoul Central Mosque was very beautiful. I ended up even praying with a cat at a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which was really cool on Jeju Island. Actually, I think Jeju Island was my favorite part of this trip. It was just so much different from Seoul. Like, with Seoul, yes, it's noticeable that you're in a different country, but Jeju, you felt that you were somewhere different. Like, I got to swim in the Pacific Ocean, and it was really weird knowing that you were facing north, looking at the ocean. But yeah, I got to cross that one off on my bucket list. A couple more oceans to go, but the volcanic island is just so beautiful. There's a lot of history there with World War II. I remember seeing the pylons at one of the docks. It's probably really old. Then we were out in nature too. That was really nice. Just really beautiful island. And then there was a museum honoring the Jeju Uprising. That kind of hit me in the gut because I had never learned about that. And, it's kind of a history that I take personally. So I really resonated with that a lot. So Jeju was my favorite. But unfortunately, once we were done on the island, it was time to go. So, I really felt this trip. I'm really honored to have been able to go on it. And I think that at the end, it was really just kind of the little unexpected moments that tied it all together.
Where's your hat? Pass your hat around. Pass your hat